All right. There's an air biscuit brought to you by Pillsbury. There's the second one.
A lot of butter.
There was a lot of grease on that one. All right. A little bit. It's like the fucking flaky biscuits, you know? All right. So my name is James. I'm joined here by Brian, Erik over in Studio C, known as My Couch. Erik, Brian, say hello.
Hello.
Oh, you all did it at the same time. That was kind of cute. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the AL Central. So we got for like 5 weeks until baseball starts.
Roughly, opening day, April 1st.
So is it going to actually open?
Yeah.
At the moment, yes.
But
time will tell.
You got a better chance of this season happening than you did last season happening, and last season happened.
Oh, yeah.
Full completion.
Right.
So
No, they're talking fans. They're getting prepared for
yeah.
So no worry about that. So we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to start at the bottom for the AL Central of the PECOTA standings. So what PECOTA does is they take players' averages over the last couple of years for almost every stat on their team, and they decide where a team is going to finish in a division.
They, again, usually one or, a couple of oddballs get kind of thrown in there. Teams overperform, teams underperform. And stuff like that, but they're usually fairly accurate.
Yeah, AL Central, I think, was one of those kind of oddball divisions.
Well, again, because the White Sox emerged last year.
So
Cleveland's been competitive.
Finishing 5th out of 5 in the AL Central, they got the Detroit Tigers. And they got the Tigers winning 65 games and losing 96.8, 97, rounding up. Is that 162? Yeah,
yes.
That's 162. Yep. Yeah. So 65 and 97, that's pretty much shit.
That's what you call rebuilding.
Yeah.
That's 2 games above the Orioles.
So they did re-sign Jonathan Scope to a 1-year, $4.5 million contract. They lost C.J. Cron, who the Twins had during the whole Bomba season.
2019, yeah.
And
with Scope.
Well, Scope, he signed a 1-year, $4.5 million deal.
I'm just saying with
Detroit.
Bomba season.
Yeah, they had Scope and they had Cron. And C.J. Cron signed a minor league contract with Colorado. I don't see him staying in the minors. I think Colorado will have him up. But basically, they don't really have anybody.
Well, again, it's a lot of their young prospects are now coming up. Only big acquisition I really have known that they've made is Nomar Mazara.
Yeah.
They acquired.
From the White Sox. He was a free agent.
Right. But a lot of these guys here, again, Robbie Grossman, they've acquired. Kind of a stopgap until their outfielders come up. So
their projected starting lineup is left fielder Robbie Grossman, then second baseman Jonathan Scope, then DH, also known as salary taker-upper Miguel Cabrera, and then third baseman Yermer Calinaro.
Jamer Candelario.
That one.
Yeah, him. And then former Twin Wilson Ramos is their catcher. And then he was drafted by the Twins, by the way, in 2004.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Nomar Mazara in right field. And then Renato Nunez, even though he's on the
non-roster invitee, it has it listed.
I wonder if their fans are sitting there thinking, no more caring about this team.
Well, they're where we were in 2016.
Erik, get the fuck out. Erik, get the fuck out. And then Jacoby
It's
Jones.
cold outside.
Jacoby Jones playing center field, and then shortstop Willie Castro. So basically, outside of Robbie Grossman, Jonathan Scope, and Miguel Cabrera, and Nomar Mazara, I haven't heard any of you before. Wilson Ramos, don't point to him, Brian. He's not worth pointing to. He's projected to bat 260 this year. So fucking stop.
He's on the up and up.
You've heard of him.
Yeah, only because he was a Twin draftee. That's the only reason why. No, he's...
Again, this is a team. Again, a lot of these moves, like Robbie Grossman, free agent signing, Ramos free agent signing, Mazzara, they're stopgaps. 1 year low risk deals. If they perform well, they'll trade them to deepen out the farm system. So Tigers are just clearly a team rebuilding and trying to make moves to stay somewhat competitive.
And then their projected starting rotation: Matthew Boyd, Spencer Turnbull, Michael Fulmer, Jose Urena, and Julio Teheran,
I think.
Man, those names sound like the...
Teheran was actually an all-star in Atlanta years ago, but,
Those names sound
very long.
They're
Seems
all
like
prospects
very long
on
ago.
the show.
Yeah, they are all projected a 4.5 ERA or higher.
Yeah,
Like-
again, we don't have to spend too much time on the Tigers.
No,
so.
they're a team. If you're going to play them 19 times this year, you better win 16 at
Just-
least. Like,
Again, there are other teams like, the Royals and, are far closer, I think, to competing. And
yeah, the Tigers are years away, 5 to 8 years away.
I would say 2024 at the earliest, and that's only if their top prospects actually come in. I'm a little surprised I don't see Casey Mize on that starting rotation.
So their top prospects right now is Casey Mize, is number 8 overall in MLB.
This Torkelson that is
Spencer
right there.
Torkelson is
This
number
dude
16
this
overall.
dude rakes from what they say.
Matt Manning, he's number 18 overall. Riley Green is 47 overall. Tariq Skubal is 48 overall. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 50. That's a pretty deep farm system.
Just saying, that's when you're a team and there's try to build up your farm system for future success. And
Casey Mize, your top guys, got MLB experience already. Yep. You got a guy in Double-A. You got a guy in Single-A. You got another guy with Major League experience. You got your 115th overall prospect, which is still pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
He's got MLB service.
Just saying, he's probably a couple of call-ups on the top 100 list away from being on the list.
They got some people, but it's not.
They're a ways away. So.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough. All right, so number 2.
Number 4.
Well, technically, number 4. Finishing 4th, according to the Bakota standings, which is really accurate. Like, Vegas adjusts their overall wins, losses to the Bakota standings every time it comes out. So they got basically Kansas City going 71 and 91. Kansas City. So,
again, similar situation, just young team and older players.
But I feel like this team could be sneaky good
Yes.
at 3rd. Like finishing 3rd in the AL Central.
I definitely could see them beating the Twins quite a few times.
They always play the Twins well.
That 2-hit Witt usually gets like 4
Just
hits.
saying, they're that pesky team that's
that
annoys the division.
They always play the Twins well, but
they'll play.
They don't really have the pitching anymore, but they got good defense and they got good offensive players. Like,
again, team that's always kind of built themselves on defense.
They got basically they lost Greg Holland. Or they gained Greg Holland.
Brought him back.
Brought him back. 1 year, $2.75 million. But
they had no real significant
and
losses.
then every other free agent loss they have is all minor league deals. They got the number 13th overall
the first thing
prospect.
is probably the big acquisition this offseason was
Andrew Benintendi from the Red Sox. That was a massive trade.
Saying very kind of surprised he ended up there, but
Is he a little pissed that he ends up in Kansas City? It's not 2014. It's not 2015. It's not
it's
really.
not like the Red Sox are like.
But it's
right now.
But it's not really a hitter-friendly park. It's a pretty deep outfield.
He could hit 60 doubles.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested to see.
So he probably won't
see a deeper left field.
Just saying, he probably won't. Hit 30 home runs in that ballpark, but with how big that outfield is and spacious it is, he could easily hit 50, 60 doubles. A year. That slugging percentage could,
You go from home plate to the fucking fountains in center field. That's what, 410, 420,
something like that. But it's definitely the gaps there that seem very deep.
Yeah, I mean it's not really a hitter-friendly park. Luckily for them, because they don't really have much in starting pitching. This is their batting lineup is where they're going to be sneaky good.
Yeah.
They got Whit Merrifield, 2-hit Whit
All the dude does is
in right field.
Hit 290, 300, gets like 200 hits a year.
Don't they have a lot of speed too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Mondesi is your stolen base.
Yep.
He's projected 50. He's projected 54 stolen bases this year.
And even Merrifield's like 26, probably could
2-hit Whit. Yeah, he projected 26. Andrew Benintendi, he's gonna bat. I mean, the slugging's 414.
It's a team that's always kind of
but...
built themselves off speed and defense and contact.
And then you bring back. You bring back
exactly.
You bring back Salvi, and then you got Carlos Santana that usually hits the Twins well. You got Jorge Solaire, the fucking home run champ
in 2019.
Yeah, I think, 2 years ago.
He's a slammer.
And he's projected 34 home runs, a 484 slugging. I mean, that's
the dude
pretty fucking good. And then you got Mondesi, who's projected 54 stolen bases.
If this dude gets on base, he's a threat to go at any time.
Yeah, you fucking walk him. He gets a single, hit by pitch. He's going any pitch.
You walk him and you blink and he's standing on third base.
Especially with the Twins, you're playing him, or you're playing the Royals as a Twins starting first baseman, or starting first baseman. You're starting pitcher.
Always got to be aware.
You don't really have much of a flamethrower. So you got to be aware of that guy going every fucking time. Then you got Hunter Dozier, no relation to Brian Dozier. 22 home runs, a 433 slugging. That's pretty good. 240 batting average. That's not really good, but batting average doesn't matter. Just ask Brian. Then two guys.
It matters in terms of the slash line.
Yeah. And then two guys batting 8th and 9th. We don't really know.
Michael Taylor, though, he can run.
Michael Taylor, and then Nicky Lopez.
He is a typical center fielder they would take. He can run and run down any fly ball. So,
they lose Alex Gordon in retirement. Probably the reason why fucking Joe Mauer is not going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Him and Lorenzo Cain definitely.
Yeah. So. But then this is where they go into their problem right here. They're fucking starting rotation.
A lot of them are young and all that, so
they're starting rotation. Danny Duffy, I mean, he's off and on. He usually pitches pretty well against the division.
Nothing special really about him, though.
Yeah,
so.
And then Brad Keller, he's
Is that Helen Keller's brother?
He's young. He's young. Yeah.
I mean, 3 years even.
He's only 25 years old.
3 years even of service time. He's still got 3 more years till he gets his fucking free agent contract.
Right.
So.
Mike Minor, a veteran, has had success, but...
And then Brad Singer, he's fucking almost 25 with almost a year service, or a
Brady
year
Singer,
service.
yep. One of their top prospects.
Year service time, 25 years old. He's kind of iffy.
Well, he's not a prospect anymore with a year of service time.
Yeah,
so.
Well, he's only got a year of service time, and he's 25 years old.
He was in college.
Kind of shows you how well he's pitching.
He was in college. He got drafted. You're 22 years old.
He got drafted in 2018 in the first round.
So he was 22 years old, probably. If he's 24 right now.
He'd be 21.
Yeah, you're 21, 22. Sorry that I'm off by a year.
And then you got Chris Bubich, who's 23 and a half. Yeah.
Very young. Had a rough season last year, though.
Yeah, I mean, the Royals.
Just young, inexperienced pitching.
Yeah, I know. This is what kills the Royals from them actually being a good team this year is their starting staff.
Well, and the other thing that I would say is that it's hard to predict when you got young pitchers like this because again, Bubich and Singer especially, what if they just all of a sudden click and figure it out?
Yeah, especially since they're homegrown,
Right.
So.
And again, between them less than 1.5 years of
But then you lose Rosenthal to Oakland.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, he was a solid bullpen pitcher. And then who else did they lose? Ian Kennedy, he had a minor league deal. Who cares?
Yeah, saying. I mean, not too many significant losses, but
yeah, they're basically they got a good offensive defensive lineup.
And the other thing is that some of their top prospects are close.
Yeah, they got a good offensive defensive lineup. They're just waiting for the pitching to come around.
I think they have one of the top prospects in Bobby Witt Jr. a shortstop.
Oh yeah, they're very high on him.
It's he was 16th overall, 13th overall.
Just that's even lower than I would have thought.